Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. So we are from Group 10. We will presenting about the FNN company. So did you know FNN company, or do you want to know more about the FNN company? So let's go. Before we introduce more about the FNN company, let me introduce you our team member, our presenter. We're going to present about the FNN company. So in the group 10, we have 5 team members. We will presenting about the FNN company. So one of that is Shazwan. We have Harit. We have Shukri. We have Alia. And we have Mia. So this is a presenter. Will present you about the FNN company. About the financial statement, about the total debt, total everything that you want to know. Okay, so let's focus on. Let's go. Company background. So as we know, Fraser and Nave Holding Berhad, or also we know as a FNN, is one of the leading food and beverage company in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. The company was established in 1883 and has over 100 years of business experience. FNN produces various products such as carbonated drinks, dairy products, isotonic beverage, tea, and ice cream. Some well-known brands under FNN, including the 100 Plus, Magnolia, FNN Season, and Carnation. So, the company also focus on innovation, sustainability, and healthy product development to remain competitive in the market.
First, I would like to explain about Benford Law. Benford Law is a statistical technique used in forensic accounting and fraud detection to identify unusual patterns in financial data. According to Benford Law, smaller digits appear more frequently as the first digit. For example, digit 1 appear about 30.1%, while digit 9 only appear about 4.6%. This method is commonly used to detect abnormal financial pattern and possible manipulation in financial report. For this assignment, we analyzed the Fraser and Neve Holding Berhad using financial data from 2019 until 2024. Next, I will present the net income analysis based on Benford Law. For this analysis, several important financial accounts were selected, including revenue, cost of sale, administrative expenses, and profit for the year from FNN annual report between 2019 and 2024. Based on the first digit analysis, digit 3 exceed the expected Benford percentage, while digit 4 also recorded a higher frequency compared to the expected distribution. Meanwhile, digit 1 recorded a slightly lower percentage than the Benford expectation. This finding indicate that the digit distribution is slightly different from normal Benford Law pattern. However, this situation may occur because the net income account and business operation consistently influence the company financial figure over the year. In addition, certain account balances were repeatedly reported within similar numerical range, which caused some digits to appear more frequently than others. Overall, although there are slight deviations from Benford Law, the analysis does not provide strong evidence of fraud or financial statement manipulation. Therefore, no material fraud indicator were detected in the net income analysis.
Let's move to total asset analysis. So this table shows several major asset accounts such as property, plant and equipment, inventories, trade receivables, and cash equivalent from FNN annual reports 2019 until 2024. So from the data, we can observe that the company maintained large asset balance throughout the 6-year period. For example, PPE increased from 1.3 billion in 2019 to 1.7 billion in 2024. So the next table presents the result of first digit analysis between actual digit frequency and the expected Benford Law percentage for total asset. So based on the analysis, digit 5 record the highest observed frequency at 21.1% compared to the expected Benford. Similarly with digit 8, on the other hand, digit 1 appear less frequently than expected with 18.3 compared to the Benford expectation of 30.1. So this difference indicate that the total asset distribution does not completely follow the normal Benford distribution pattern. Next, we will see the comparison chart between actual distribution and Benford law distribution. So from the chart, we can clearly see the certain digit, especially digit 5 and digit 8, exceed the expected Benford percentage. However, this deviation do not automatically indicate fraud because business activities and company operation may naturally influence the financial figures. Based on the findings, the deviation identified in the total asset account may be influenced by the company's asset structure and operational activities. As a large manufacturing company, FNN consistently maintain high value assets such as property, inventories, and receivable. The company also experienced business expansion and increased investment activities during the post-pandemic recovery period. So this factor may naturally affect the first digit distribution without necessarily indicating fraudulent reporting. Overall, although some deviations were identified, there is no strong evidence of financial statement manipulation or fraud in the total asset account. Next, we will see the comparison chart between actual distribution and Benford law distribution. So from the chart, we can clearly see there are several minor deviations, particularly for digit 5. However, the overall pattern still follows the increasing trend that is generally expected under Benford law, where lower digits occur more frequently than higher digits. Therefore, the deviation identified are still considered reasonable under normal business conditions. The variation identified in the total liabilities account may be related to the company financing and borrowing activities throughout the analysis period. So between 2019 and 2024, FNN experienced changes in loans, lease liabilities, and trade payable due to operational expansion and post-pandemic economic recovery. So this activity may naturally influence the first digit distribution in the liability account. Overall, although several deviations from Benford law were identified, there is no strong evidence of fraudulent reporting or financial statement manipulation in the total liabilities account. This table shows several major liability accounts such as debt and other payables, loans and borrowings, and deferred tax liabilities from FNN Annual Report 2019 until 2024. So from the data, we can observe fraction in liabilities over the 6-year period. For example, loans and borrowings increased significantly in certain years due to financing and operational activities. The next table presents the result of first digit analysis for liabilities. So digit 1 record the highest frequency at 20%, although it is lower than the expected Benford percentage. Digit 5 record a relatively high observed frequency of 18.2%. Digit 3, 4, and 7 also appear slightly higher than expected. So despite this deviation, the overall distribution pattern still appears reasonable, consistent with normal financial reporting behavior.
For financial statement analysis, vertical horizontal analysis were conducted to identify unusual financial trend and possible fraud indicators within Fraser Holding Berhad FNN from 2019 until 2024. So as we can see, there have a table at the top. So you can see vertical analysis, which is company profit before tax margin show a declining trend from 2019 until 2022 before recovering again in 2023 and 2024. The margin decreased from 30.1% in 2019 and 10.2% in 2022. However, the figure increased significantly to 12.5% in 2023 and 13.3% in 2024. So this sudden recovery raised suspicion regarding possible revenue recognition issue and aggressive financial reporting. However, the analysis also alone cannot confirm the occurrence of fraud because the changes may also influence by normal business recovery and increased company performance.
So for the financial statement analysis on horizontal analysis. So based on the horizontal analysis, the several financial items showed significant change from 2019 into the 2024, where the revenue is increased steadily from 4,077.1 million in 2019 to 5,245.6 million in 2024. So it is indicating that the business is continuously to grow. So in addition, profit before tax increased sharply by 37.6% in 2023, but profit for the year increased by 41.8% during the same period. But in the analysis, it showed a very large increase in total debts, with especially between 2021 and also into the 2022, where the figure increased by 369.8%. This unusual increase may indicate that there is possible financial pressure, increased borrowing, or potential red flag that require further investigation and also analysis.
Okay, next for my part is fraud prevention recommendation. Based on the analysis conducted in this assignment, FNN Berhad does not show strong evidence of financial statement fraud. However, several unusual patterns were identified, especially in areas involve asset, liability, and profit-related account. Therefore, several fraud prevention recommendations are important to strengthen the company's governance and financial reporting process. The first recommendation is reinforcing ethical leadership and corporate culture. The board of directors and senior management must demonstrate honesty, integrity, and accountability in their daily operation. When employees observe ethical behavior from management, they are more likely to follow the same standards. In addition, regular fraud awareness training should be provided so employees can recognize fraud risks and understand the consequence for unethical behavior. The second recommendation is strengthening internal control over high-risk accounts. Accounts such as receivables, borrowings, and intangible assets involve significant judgment and are more exposed to manipulation risks. Therefore, all transactions should be supposed be proper documentation and approval procedure. Monthly reconciliation and restricts access to accounting system are also important to reduce opportunity for fraud. Lastly, control over revenue recognition and reporting should be enhanced because revenue directly affects company earnings. Revenue Revenue should only be recognized when obligations are fulfilled and support be valid documents such as invoice and delivery notes. This help ensure the accuracy and reliability of financial statement. Okay, the next recommendation is implementing continuous monitoring and data analytics. In this assignment, Benford's law was successfully used to identify unusual numerical patterns in financial data. Therefore, FNN should continue using automated monitoring tools to detect suspicious transactions such as duplicate payments, abnormal journal entries, and unusual financial trends. Continuous monitoring allows management to identify issues earlier and take corrective action before problems become more serious. Another important recommendation is strengthening the role of internal audit and the audit committee. Internal audit should regularly assess fraud risks and focus on high-risk areas such as acquisition, receivables, procurements, and borrowings. In addition, the audit committee should receive detailed reports regarding fraud risks, internal control weakness, and corrective action taken by management. Strong oversight improve governance and increase confidence in the company financial reporting. Finally, governance practice should also be enhanced through whistleblowing mechanism, employee background checks, and job rotation. Employees and external parties should have confidential channel to report suspicious activity without fear of retaliation. Background checks help ensure trustworthy employees are appointed to sensitive positions, while job rotation and mandatory leave can help detect irregularities that may otherwise remain hidden. Okay, the last part I will presenting for fraud during COVID-19 pandemic based on fraud triangle theory. The COVID-19 pandemic increased fraud risk because it created conditions that match the three elements of fraud triangle, which are pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. First is pressure. During the pandemic, many companies experienced declined sales, operational disruption, and uncertainty in maintaining profitability. At the same time, employees also face personal financial difficulties such as salary reduction and job insecurity. These pressures may encourage individual or management to commit fraud in order to maintain financial stability or company performance. Second is opportunity. During COVID-19, many organizations implemented remote working arrangement and digital approval system. As a result, internal control became weaker because supervision was reduced and some approval procedures were less effective. This situation increased the possibility of fraud such as fictitious transaction, unauthorized payment, or manipulation of accounting record. The third element is rationalization. Some individuals may justify unethical behavior by believing that the fraud is only temporary or necessary to protect themselves or the company during difficult times. For example, management may manipulate earnings to maintain investor confidence, while employees may misuse company resources because of financial hardship. In conclusion, the pandemic significantly increased fraud risk due to the combination of pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. Therefore, companies like FNN must maintain strong governance, effective internal controls, and ethical practice to reduce fraud risk during crisis situation. That's all from us. Thank you.
That's all from us, okay? Thank you. Bye bye. See you guys next time. Bye.